Erica, thank you. Are these so-called for joining us? Are these so-called chief purpose officers just another title for someone who might otherwise be called the head of D&I, diversity and inclusion, or the chief sustainability officer? How do they differ from those two roles, or are they in some companies the same?
So this is a buzzy way for companies to bring in all of those things into one title. So a chief purpose officer might have the head of sustainability and the head of diversity reporting to them. And it's basically to put this flowery label for, it could be to do good on a company's effort to, within and without, try to make some kind of positive change. And a lot of it's from pressure from consumers and employees.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, is this coming from employees? Is it coming from the leadership teams of the companies that have chosen to do this? Is it coming from shareholders, whether they are funds or not, whether they are institutional or retail investors? Where's the impetus?
It's sort of all of the above, like you said, but the primary force is definitely the employees. According to the latest Edelman Trust Barometer, roughly 80% of workers in the US and globally expect their companies to do something about issues like climate change, the rise of automation, systemic racism, and that number is just going to keep climbing. So employees are really driving this issue, and younger employees are willing to quit over it.
I want to get Kelly into the conversation, but let me conclude with this question. Time was, and not so long ago, that when asked about what is the purpose of a corporation, the answer would have been to make money for shareholders, period, end of sentence. The rest of it goes by the boards. What changed and why?
So we all heard the Business Roundtable in August 2019 come out with a statement that really solidified this and said companies should have a purpose beyond profit. That is just becoming more and more solid. It's the new generation, it's employees, it's consumers, and the war for talent is really being won on values right now. Companies are desperate to hire the top people, and they don't want to work for just a company and just collect a paycheck. They want to work for a place that stands for something beyond profits. So companies are just trying to keep up.
At the same time, Erica, in order to make money in the marketplace, your company has to have a clear purpose that serves the consumer or the customer. So either companies don't want to be transparent with their employees about what that is if they think it's distasteful. For example, if Google makes money from advertising and employees don't like that purpose, they can either leave and do something whose purpose they agree with, or they can pressure the company to perhaps use its profits to put towards other purposes. Is that basically what this comes down to? Right. I mean, not every company can do everything, like you say, but it's about aligning the purpose part of it with the profit part of it. So, the example you gave, a tech company, yes, they're making money off of their tech, off of their products, but maybe they're also, putting profits towards educating more girls in STEM and trying to improve the gender parity in the tech workforce. So companies want to know that there is kind of two things happening. There's the profit, there's the business part of it, but companies are thinking about outside the four walls too, and how can we stay in our lane, but also do some good.
Does this mean that companies are more likely in the future to take stances, put stakes in the ground on societal issues of racial justice, racial equality, or other issues, environmental and so forth? Is that what that adds up to?
Yeah, we've gotten to a point where a company not making a statement when something like, the George Floyd protest happens is a statement. People will notice that you didn't say anything. They'll come to you, they'll call you out online, and you could really seriously damage your brand's reputation. The chief purpose officer comes in here because the CEOs don't have time to follow all the events and make all of the statements. So, they've got a whole other job to do. So that's why companies are hiring a whole other C-suite executive, whole other departments to do this speaking.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.